Hey everyone, welcome to the Nappy Frappe Quickie Cafe. And here we talk about little quick conversations about whatever's on my mind, what's going on in my world. And right now, what's going on in my world is impeachment. Okay, so I've seen in my timeline that a lot of people are kind of confused on what's going on or think that there's no point to all of it. And let me tell you why I think you should care what's going on. Okay, let's start with what impeachment is and what it all means. Impeachment is not criminal charges. It's when the president or someone in office acts unconstitutional or outside the boundaries of their office. And Trump certainly has done that. Now, this isn't about his policies of caging children or cutting food stamps or any other horrible thing that he has done. It's not even about him being a white supremacist. This is about him going to a foreign president and trying to get them to dig up dirt, or at least even pretend to dig up dirt on his political opponent Joe Biden. And so what he did, Ukraine is being invaded by Russia. It's been happening for a while. And they're an ally of ours. And so we were sending them defense aid. Congress and everybody voted on it to send the defense aid. A certain amount of money they were given. And Trump decided to hold up the aid for several weeks and called the president, who was aware that this aid was already awarded but had not been released, and told him, hey, a lot of people are talking about the corruption with Joe Biden. And whenever Trump says a lot of people are talking, he's talking about him. He's the only person talking about it. So, but Trump goes, a lot of people are talking about this, which the president, everybody knows that Trump is shallow as fuck and you gotta kiss his butt. And so the president of Ukraine, who is in desperate need of these funds for his people to survive, is kissing butt and just, yeah, I know you're draining the swamp and all that good stuff. But Trump's like, hey, I need you to look into corruption with Biden and his kid, and I need you to have a press conference and say it publicly. So it's not just so much that he needed an investigation. He needs you before we can release this aid, before I can allow you to have a meeting here that will show the world that you're in good standing with the USA, which would do a lot for you politically, publicly. I'm going to need you to do this. That had nothing to do with the U.S. security or anything like that. And the president, agreed to do it. The president of Ukraine said he would. He didn't get a chance to, but someone listening in on this call, which people listening on the president's calls, saw this as a problem and was just like, "Hey, somebody else listen to this. Is this against the rules?" And it was. And so when they opened up an investigation, that's when Trump released the money. Despite the fact that, yes, Biden's son probably only got that job on the board in Ukraine because of nepotism. He's somebody's famous kid, and they thought, having the kid on would help them gain connections. The whole White House is filled with Trump's family, like in really big offices that they have no qualifications for. But forget that. Forget the irony and the hypocrisy of the Trump administration. This is about a president who not only got into office through the help of Russia interfering with our government and putting Facebook full of bots and all these fake news stories to get people all revved up and divided, and really made people bought into the whole crooked Hillary thing, which got this crook elected. But now he is helping pretty much Russia again by not giving Ukraine the money to defend themselves, but also selling the idea that Ukraine had something to do with meddling in our elections and that part of corruption. Nothing to do with it. He just wanted them to say that Biden was dirty, so he'd have a soundbite during the election because he thinks that Biden is going to be the person that he runs against. And I'm sure if it were Sanders or Warren, he would have found somebody to say something horrible about them, because it doesn't matter if it's true. Now, with impeachment is when the House of Representatives has a hearing. They bring articles of impeachment. This is what we think might be wrong. So they have a probe, they have witnesses, and they did that. And everybody involved, not only told that it happened, but the attempt to cover up and the no quid pro quo. Of course there was quid pro quo. And you don't have to say, you give me this, I'll give you that, for it to be understood, especially when you know you're doing something wrong. You blackmail people, extort people a different way. The fact is, he held money that they needed to survive an invasion, unless they said something horrible about his opponent. Total BS. So now it's going to, after the vote goes through, and it's a Democratic-led House of Representatives, it has to go to the Senate. And the Senate decides what the punishment will be. The Senate is being run by Republicans. One second. I gotta get this story. The Senate is being run by Republicans, and of course, they've done nothing but allow Trump to wreak havoc on our government and our policies, democracy. Anyway, they defend him at all costs. So there is a good chance, though not impossible, but a good chance that they are not going to vote him out of office. Still, for history's sake, it will be known that Trump did this horrible thing while in office, and he was impeached for it. Nixon wasn't removed from office. Nixon resigned. Nixon was impeached. They saw all this proof of everything he did. He resigned, and any criminal charges that might have been brought against him, his VP pardoned him once he became president. Clinton was impeached for lying about Monica Lewinsky going down on him, lying about cheating on his wife, which I don't support, but had nothing to do with the presidency whatsoever, but he lied. So they got him on perjury. Had he showed up and said, yeah, she went down on me, but, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, he would never have been able to be impeached. It was the lie that allowed them to impeach him, but he wasn't removed from office because the Senate was led by the Democrats at the time, and they, I believe rightfully, didn't see a reason to remove him from office. Trump is selling out our democracy. This is a problem. This is not okay. And allowing foreign governments to buy their way in, to bribe their way in, to put the people that they want in office in, undermines us, our vote. The Electoral College is already an issue for me, to where every single vote doesn't count and people's votes can be suppressed and gerrymandering and all that. So we have that. And then on top of that, and the money in politics, and we'll get into that in another conversation. But on top of all that, you now have a president who goes to other presidents to try to attack and create smear campaigns on his opponents here. That's a problem. So it doesn't matter if the Senate doesn't do their job. I watched the hearings, I watched the vote today, and all you hear is, this is a mockery, it's making a mockery. No, what they did with Clinton made a mockery of the impeachment process. But fine, he lied. He did. He shouldn't have lied. And you want to try to bring that against him? But what Trump is doing, imagine any Democratic president, but imagine Barack Obama. There have been so many investigations into Benghazi and all that stuff. If they found anything to impeach him on, he would have been gone. But, Trump is a problem. And at the very least, our history books need to say that this man was a criminal, a crook, and he was impeached. If he is removed from office, then all the crimes he did commit in the Mueller report that he couldn't be charged with, the Southern District of New York can go after him, finally get those taxes, and see everybody he is in bed with. Not literally. We know who he's in bed with, literally, not his wife. But, that's none of my business. So thank you for joining me and Cannon at the Nappy Frappe. And here's to impeachment.